A gentleman, as Robert said, flew in 2 o'clock this morning, and here he is looking sharp, wearing a suit, and just so excited to have this great American patriot here with us. Ladies and gentlemen, Rick Santorum.
Very much, Richard. Now I know why I endorsed him. Thank you so much for being here, Richard. Thank you for the great hard race you're running, and I have no doubt that you're going to be the next congressman here. And so I'm looking forward to a great future for you. And Robert, thank you also for your kind words. And I have to check my wardrobe now if I'm reminding you of Lady Thatcher. I take that as a great compliment. You know, Lady Thatcher is someone who I quote frequently in my speeches, and I'm a great fan, and so I do consider it an honor to be mentioned in the same sentence with the Iron Lady. And thank you for the race you're running, and again your future service for the people of North Carolina and the country. Thank you all for coming out here this morning. You know, this is, it's early. For me, it's early.
Thank you for being here. It's you.
Thank you. No, it's an honor to be here. It really is an honor to be here. When I was in Dallas last night, and I had a speech late last night in Dallas, and tonight I had scheduled, and still do have scheduled, a debate up at Cornell University with none other than Howard Dean. So I sleep on the plane, so I'm looking forward to that. But I had some time available, and we called the Romney campaign and said anything I can do to help, and they blessed me by sending me to North Carolina. So and I got to tell you, I am excited because I've always felt from the beginning. Look, one of the reasons I ran for president was because of the problems that Richard and Robert so aptly described going on in this country, and I won't review that. But I also felt that we were in a great position to win this race, that the fundamentals were strong, and if we could go out there and run a strong and principled campaign, talk about a vision of America based on our founding principles, one that Richard laid out, that believes in limited government and the unlimited potential of the American people, that we could do something that was absolutely necessary, which is stop this radical transformation of America that is occurring under this president from happening. Repeal Obamacare, get this country back in the direction not of European socialism, but of American, as American Republic that believes in free people. And I always felt that the fundamentals were strong, but it really wasn't until a couple of weeks ago when Mitt Romney stepped on that stage, and then that that I just felt, I started feeling great again about America. Yeah. What he did. The guy debated Mitt Romney about 20 times. And I'll be honest with you, I never debated that Mitt Romney. He was inspired. And I really mean that in all sincerity. He was inspired. He did a magnificent job. You can tell that all the preparation, all the trials, all the things that he had to go through prepared him for that moment on the national stage where America was looking to see whether we had a leader that we could trust at a critical time in our nation's history. And I sat there and look, and even I feel right now I had tingles down my spine. I just felt like, wow, you know, he's arrived, and America is going to accept this man, and we are not only going to win the presidency, but I am confident. You're seeing the polls. Yep. Momentum is an amazing thing. I saw it in my presidential race. I've seen it in my races in the past, and I've been around enough races that you can smell when things are starting to happen.
Right.
And for a few months, the Obama machine and the media kept Mitt Romney pinned down and kept the real Mitt Romney obscured from the American public. And 2.5 weeks ago, the American public got to see firsthand, without the filter, got to see the real Mitt Romney and what he was for and what he's about. They got to see the real Paul Ryan. They'd already seen the real Joe Biden. That had already and the other night, you saw the same thing. Mitt Romney was solid. Mitt Romney stood up and did a great job the other night, and you saw Barack Obama, who had nothing.
That's right.
Nothing. He had nothing to go out there and make the case for the last 4 years. He couldn't. And that was Mitt Romney's strongest moments, and it showed the weakness that all he could do is play small ball, talk about fringe issues that have nothing to do with getting this country on the right track, nothing to do with making sure we had a leader who was on top of things from a national security point of view. It's providential that the next debate is going to be on national security. Because this president and Mitt Romney will lay it out, I have no doubt. Mitt Romney and I disagreed on a few issues throughout the course of the primary. One issue we were in solidarity was national security. And I've talked to Mitt. I worked with Mitt 4 years ago on a lot of national security issues. I am confident that he will step by step take apart Barack Obama and the horrific job he has done. And Richard is right. Our enemies do not fear us, and our allies do not trust us. And that is a very dangerous world. And the idea of we reset the Middle East, yes, we did. And look at the mess of the Middle East right now. Radical Islam, not just in Iran, but it is spreading throughout the country and ruling countries now. And we are engaging and negotiating and supporting, in some cases, folks like the Muslim Brotherhood and Hamas with money. We're giving them money. We're giving them arms. And again, allowing Iran to get a nuclear weapon. It's going to be a great send-off. On next week at the debate. And we are going to not just win the presidency. I think you're going to see a lot of races. Everybody's talking about, United States Senate and what other Republicans are in the United States Senate. Let me just tell you right here. Republicans will control the United States Senate, and will control it by a very healthy margin. That's my belief. Because the momentum is moving. Now that's why I wanted to talk to you about momentum. Momentum at this point in time in a race is the most important thing in getting undecided voters to vote for your candidate. Undecided voters at this point are generally voters who are, I call them feel voters. They want to get the feel of how things are going. They want to sense where's the energy, where's the enthusiasm, where's the candidate that's going to bring this country back. Because if they're undecided at this point, they're probably not people who are deeply ideological.
Right.
Right? Yep. What they care about, and legitimately, so they care about the future of our country. They care about what's going to happen to America, and they want to vote for someone that they get the feel is going to do something good. And that feel that comes from you. It comes from the supporters of the candidates. And what happened 4 years ago here in North Carolina is the feel was all on the other side. I saw it in Pennsylvania. But here, because of your early voting, it is obviously demonstrated. Because you had hundreds of thousands of more people in early voting here in North Carolina sign up and vote for Barack Obama than for John McCain. And so the feel reported by these folks with television cameras and the folks with the laptops are all about Obama has the momentum. Well, you can rewrite that narrative. Right here, all of them. You can rewrite that narrative. And by getting on the phones, by getting on your social media, and by encouraging people to go out and vote now, not wait. Right. Your vote matters more. There's a saying in politics, these guys will back me up. It's called Emily, which is early money is like yeast. Okay? Early voting is like yeast. Okay? Heavily. I don't know what that is. But it is, because you've now announced to the world, and we now see that Governor Romney got the momentum, got the early vote, and again, you can build that momentum here in North Carolina. So I encourage each and every one of you. I know a lot of people like to go to vote on Election Day. I like to vote on Election Day. Well, you can vote today and then go to the polls on Election Day. Don't vote again. You can still go to the polls on Election Day, get the donut at the precinct, and talk to the folks in the neighborhood. Do that, just and bring a friend who hasn't voted yet. But go and vote now. Vote today. Get your friends out there. Call them and tell them how important it is to keep this momentum alive and to have them write the story that this is a different election in North Carolina than 4 years ago. So you're making a difference by being here, by helping out, but make a difference today by getting you and your friends to go out there and vote. And Mitt Romney will not only win North Carolina, you have a win in the governor's mansion, and you have a win here in the in congressional districts, but you will lead the way here in North Carolina, because I'm hoping North Carolina is called early, and you're going to have an impact on Colorado.